Hi guys, welcome back to a new video. In this video we'll be making a rolling text title effect in After Effects. Here you can see the final output we'll be making. So this is the title effect we'll be making today. So we'll start with a new project and new composition of 1920 and 1080, and after that we'll start with just a simple background. So we'll just select some random color, like you can select any colors you want. I'll just select a color like this and I'll name it as BG, and then I'll just lock the layer. So this is going to be our background. The next thing is we have to type in the title that we want, and when you type in the title you want, that just make sure that you are typing it one by one. So for example, if I'm typing the effect as title like this, make sure that each of these letters are in a separate layer. So we'll start with the T, and we can increase the font size to maybe 250, and after that we'll just create a composition with this letter, and we'll name it as T, and we'll go inside this letter and we will just crop that entire workspace to only contain the single letter. We don't need this extra space or anything like that. So what we'll do is we'll just zoom in a little bit, and at the bottom of this composition window you can see an option called region of interest. You just have to select that, and we'll just drag and select the entire area we want here, like so. And then we can go to composition, and here we'll just select crop region to region of interest, and when we actually crop it, the entire composition will be cropped into the selected region, and so it will be much easier for us to handle this entire text everything. And then we can just center pivot our pivot point, and we'll just use the align panel to align it to the exact center, and then we can go back to our composition. So this is our main first letter T, and we'll go to the project window and we'll make a few duplicates, and this one will name it as I, and we don't need another T because we already have a letter T. So TI, T, and then we need a letter for L, and then we need one more duplicate for letter E. So we have T, and then we'll just drag and drop in the next letter I, and then we'll just go inside that and just change that letter to I, and then we can drag and drop in the next one. The next thing is we have to align everything properly, and then we can just select everything, and in the align panel we can just distribute them equally with the spacing, everything like that. And so this thing it's almost aligned properly, so I'll just stick with this itself. And the next thing is we just align everything, center everything to the composition. The next part is we have to start animating our rolling title effect. So we are going to use an effect called repeat tile for that effect itself. So what we'll do is we'll just select the letter T, and we'll go to effects and preset panel, and we can type in repeat. And under the stylize option you will get an option called CC Reptile, and you can just drag and drop that effect onto the letter. And once you drag and drop it onto the letter, you will get an option called CC Reptile in the effects control panel, and you have options to expand it right, left, up and down. So we'll just expand it down, maybe something like 800, and we'll expand it up as well to 800. And with that we have created a repeating of our title effect. The next thing is we can just copy this entire effect and we can just add it to each one of our letters. And when we actually add that, each of these letters will have that repeat tile effects added onto it. The next thing is we have to mask out a certain area of this extra extended area, so only the title that will be, only one word title will be visible. So before that we have to make sure we are just going to open ruler by pressing Ctrl R, and we'll just put a ruler here. Make sure that everything is aligned based on the ruler, so we can actually move around everything properly. It's just a guideline so that we can actually move around everything properly. The next thing is we have to start animating things. So the letter T, we will start with we'll go to the position value, and we'll just move it down so that letter T is visible here. And at this moment we'll just go back to maybe 30 seconds or something like that, and then we'll add a keyframe for the position value, and then we'll go back to the 0 position value and we'll just drag it to a different position. So when we play it, we have a animation like this. 30 seconds is too much, we'll just reduce it to maybe 10 seconds. So when we play, we have an animation like this. So after that we'll repeat the same option for our letter I also as well. So we'll go to the position value, and this time we will just align it in a different way, and we'll add the position key. And when you align it, make sure that you are aligning it to that ruler we added earlier, so that everything will be aligning perfectly. So this is our animation happening. So after that we can repeat the same process for the rest of the letters as well. Hi guys, with that we actually completed our entire animation here, and you can see that each of these letters are actually moving in different directions. The next thing is we can select all of it, and we can add some easing by pressing F9 on the keyboard, and we can just adjust the easing like something like that. So we have a animation like this, and right now its animation is a bit slow. Like if you want to make it like really fast, what you can do is you can expand these values to like more than 800, so that you have a like more area to work with, or you can just reduce that time duration. So what I'll do is I'll just reduce the time duration to maybe 5 seconds, so we have a much faster animation. So this is the animation happening here. The next thing is what we'll do is we'll just align these keyframes a little bit randomly, so we have a unique animation So what we'll do is we'll just move around these keyframes a bit here and there, so we have a bit of a random animation effects. And if I play that, you can see each of the letters will be coming and ending in a different time frame. So that will give us a bit unique animation and will give more interesting effect as well. So after that, the next thing is we have to mask out the entire area. So what we'll do is we'll select the rectangle tool and make sure that fill is selected, and we'll just create a rectangle like this, and we'll just zoom in a little bit, and we'll make sure that nothing is overlapping or anything like that. So with that is our mask, and we'll just name it as mask. And after that, in the track matte option, we have a pick whip option, and we can just select the pick whip and connect it to the mask. So by doing that, automatically it will start masking out things. You can see by connecting letter E, everything else is actually masked out. So we can repeat the same process. We can just connect the rest of the letters to the same mask. In the older versions of the After Effects, you'll not be able to do this. In the newer version 23 onwards, you have the option to use one single mask, and using the pick whip option you can do that. And in the older versions, you have to manually add a mask for each of these letters, and you have to select the track matte option there itself. So that is the only thing you have to keep in mind. And after that, if you play that, you can see our rolling text is animating, and it looks much better with added ease and everything like that. The next thing is, if you want to make it a bit more interesting, what you can do is you can add a bit of a background animation as well, like I did in the previous example I shown here before, title animation. And after that, in order to create that rectangle effect, you can do the same thing. We'll just go back to our project, and we'll just duplicate one of this letter compositions, and we'll just name it as T underscore color. So this will be the background color for the letter T. So we'll just drag and drop it, and we'll make sure that it is aligned with the letter T, and we'll go inside this T color, and we'll just delete that letter. After that, we'll create a solid, and this time we'll just select maybe a different color. After that, we'll go to the scale value, and we'll reduce the height value to maybe 98. So we have a 1 pixel gap at the top and the bottom. So when we actually create the repeat tile option, we have a gap at the top and at the bottom as well. So if you want to make it a bit more right now we can see that our composition is a little bigger, so we can do that. We can reduce it to maybe 96. So we have almost a perfect alignment with that. So with that, one color is completed, and after that, what you can do is we'll just add the repeat tile option to this color as well, and we'll expand it down just like before, maybe 800, and up also will extend 800. So after adding the repeat tile option, we can just match the animation for the position along with the letter T. So we need the animation to be the exact opposite of the letter animation. So what we'll do is we'll just align this position like this, and then add a position keyframe, and we'll go back to the 0 frame, and we'll animate it the exact opposite of the letter animation. And we can just add in ease, and we can add the ease like this. So, and if you play that, you can see the animation like this. I will just reverse the animation. I think I made a mistake and didn't animate it correctly. And if you make a mistake like that, what you can do is you can just select the keyframes and right click and go to keyframe assist, and you can just select a time reverse keyframe. So what happens is the animation will be exact opposite, and you will get the desired animation you are hoping for. After that, you can just you just need to use the keyframes once more to match with the letter animation. And if you play that, we can see the letter and the color is actually animating exact opposite. And after that, you can just click that mask pick whip and connect it to the mask, so we'll have a proper masking as well. So with that, we just completed the letter T's background color, and you can repeat the same process for the rest of the letters as well, and I'll do it one by one. For the letter I, what I'll do is I'll reduce the width as well, because otherwise it will be overlapping with the rest of the letters as well, so we don't want that. So we can go to the scale value and we'll just turn off that linking option, and first we'll just make the height to 96 and maybe the width to maybe 70, and you can just check with that main composition, and you can make sure that it's aligned perfectly until you reach the desired result. So with that, we have a proper alignment, and after that we can just follow the same animation process we did earlier. Hi guys, welcome back to a new video. In this video, we'll be making a rolling text title effect in After Effects. Here you can see the final output we'll be making. So this is the title effect we'll be making today. So we'll start with a new project and new composition of 1920 and 1080, and after that we'll start with just a simple background. So we'll just select some random color, like you can select any colors you want. I'll just select a color like this and I'll name it as BG, and then I'll just lock the layer. So this is going to be our background. The next thing is we have to type in the title that we want, and when you type in the title you want, that just make sure that you are typing it one by one. So for example, if I'm typing the effect as title like this, make sure that each of these letters are in a separate layer. So we'll start with the T, and we can increase the font size to maybe 250,